What's up, guys? We're back, and for the last time, at least in this apartment. We're moving to a brand new apartment with a much bigger space, so I'm really excited about that. I'm gonna have a lot more room to move around and work, and I can't wait to do a lot of cool, exciting things in the future. Anyways, let's get in the video, and then I'll see you in a bit. Told to dress better for a job that requires getting dirty. Okay, here's a bit of background. I've worked in construction and service for 15 years. I recently gave up that career for a job in special effects for TV and movies. Last year, I started a production with people I've worked with in the past. I'm a known quantity, and my smart-ass attitude usually precedes me. This production, which isn't out yet, so the details will be sparse, is mostly set on a train. This set has to wag, shake, and wiggle like a real train would. So we built heavy teeter-totters on wheels. All heavy gauge steel, casters, and bearings. Now these gimbals, common name for motion platform, have a tendency to make noise, which, as you would imagine, would affect production. So one of my jobs was to crawl under the set, on a concrete floor, and grease joints, tighten the bolts, etc. Safety checks were daily. This usually left me somewhat dusty and dirty through the day. Typically, I'd be wearing Carhartt pants and shirt. Both black, of course, gotta stay hidden in the dark as much as possible. Most film departments that have to do something physical quite often wear black on black, so anything else is abnormal. This is where we lead into my MC. One day, I got a small hole in my shirt, just a little smaller than a dime, right on the front. So the first assistant, friend of mine that I've worked with before, says I really need to dress better, as there should be an image we should attain. I just looked at him unbelievingly for a second, and he re-insists. So I agree. I usually agree to things immediately to keep drama down in the workplace. I immediately know what I'm going to do for the rest of the week. This was on Tuesday. The next day I show up in my best dress clothes. Shirt, tie, dress pants, and dress shoes. Completely 100% wholly overdressed. Nobody dresses for a wedding in any film department unless it's theme day, like Tropical Shirt Friday. Dressed like this, I cannot do my job. So I just direct coworkers on how to do it. I spent the next 3 days dressing like that until the special effects coordinator mentioned that maybe I should dress down now, as I had made my point. I also got a lot of compliments from more than a few people. And every couple of Fridays, people would come in with suits for formal Fridays. It was nice not getting my hands dirty, but spending close to 50 hours with a tie and dress shoes is something I'd like to avoid for a while. Close all your accounts? Sure thing. Hey everyone, long-time lurker, first-time poster. This MC comes from my time working at a bank, in the contact center. I literally have hundreds of stories about that place and its customers. But today, I'd like to share a story that has always brought a smile to many a suffering customer service coworkers' faces. About the time we got one back for the good guys. Backstory: I was an employee as a customer service officer. I'd been with the bank for about 18 months at this point, mostly working afternoon shifts, but recently the bank has moved to a 24-hour customer service model. So, while most of the bank would be closed, head office, complaints, credit cards, we were still open. Cast: me, night manager, customer, head of customer relations and retentions. Let me set the scene. 10 p.m., midweek, fluorescent lights flicker overhead. The call board empty, and I'm literally counting the seconds left in my shift, ready to go home. Phone call pops onto my screen. I think, crap, I always get a call just before I finish. Me, mustering my best customer service voice. Hi, thanks for calling bank. You're speaking with Absurd and Nihilistic. How can I help you? I hear nothing but dead air. so I start to repeat myself. Hi, you're speaking with... When I hear the tone of voice and words every contact center worker has heard at some point, it just lets you know you're in for a great call. Not. Customer. Yes, I'm here. God, what takes you people so long to answer? What are you doing? As noted before, there were no calls on the board. This customer didn't wait in queue. He would have dialed, gone through to IVR to enter his customer number and PIN before being put through to me. Max 60 seconds. Me, trying to not provoke any further and get this customer off the phone as quickly as I can so I can go home. Oh, I'm sorry about that. Our system doesn't show a queue, but I'm sorry you had to wait. What can I do for you this evening? Customer seems to settle down and starts explaining that the reason for the call was the interest charges on the most recent credit card bill. He was sure they were making a mistake because I always pay my bill on time and I don't like paying you bloodsuckers any more than I have to. Charming, I know. So I placed him on hold to look at his account. I started looking at the payment history when payments were due/received, what the most recent balances were, etc. Then I quickly look at the customer's interaction notes. This is where the bank records any contact with the customer, as well as any fee waivers, special interest rates, etc. And I see an interesting series of notes from colleagues of mine stating things like, customer advised interest was charged due to full payment not received by due date. Customer threatened to close all accounts with bank. Manager approved interest waiver. Notes like this went on for months, until there was a note from the head of customer relations and retentions stating, if customer threatens to close accounts to seek waiver of fees, interest, or other charges, please proceed immediately. No retention authorized. I was a bit shocked because usually the bank would do a lot to keep existing customers. Like they told us in training, it's cheaper to keep a customer than it's to gain a new one. So I call over my night manager to read the notes and give him a heads up. I've got a feeling the customer is going to be demanding another interest waiver. My cool night manager said, well, if he does do what the note says. Total hold time, maybe 2 minutes. I take the customer off hold and thank him for waiting. Customer, about time. My time is very valuable, you know. So, have you fixed it yet? I start explaining that the interest charges are valid because he didn't pay off his balance before the due date. He goes ballistic. He starts calling me every conceivable name under the sun and mid-sentence stops. He plays it like he just had an idea. Fine, if the interest charges are valid, I'm going to close my accounts. I want to close my accounts with you now. At this point, I'm excited about putting him in his place, but I also want to cover my ass. So I ask, me, so just to be certain, you are instructing me to close all your accounts with us, including your credit card, savings account, and transaction account? Customer, are you stupid? That's what I said. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got him. Me grinning my ass off. Okay, no problem. I'll just place you on hold to do that for you. I hit the hold button fast, just as I heard him say, no, With my night manager's help, we closed his accounts. His savings account was a term deposit, so by breaking the term early, he had to pay an early access fee of 10% of the balance. We used the money in his transactional account to cover the outstanding balance in his credit card, including the interest, and sent a request for a check to be issued for the remaining money. I took the customer off hold. Me, again, thank you for your patience. As requested, your accounts are now closed. Was there anything else I can help you with tonight? If I thought the customer went ballistic before, oh boy. There was talk of suing the bank, suing me, suing my night manager, suing the head of customer relations and retentions, that we were guilty of discrimination, that I didn't have the authority to do what I did. He's going to call the police, we're thieves. Some other ways of telling me how useless I am and how I can kill myself. You get the picture. Me, still smiling because I know I nor anyone else at the bank will ever have to deal with this a-hole again. Sir, I understand you are upset. However, on a recorded phone call, you instructed me to close your accounts. I've complied with your wishes. As there's nothing else for us to speak about tonight, thank you for calling bank. Have a good night. And hung up on him before he could say another word. My night manager created an incident report and sent it to the head of customer relations and retentions, with attached a copy of the call recording. I later found out head of customer relations and retentions sent the customer a letter telling him he was banned from our bank for life due to the vile and disgusting way he had spoken to me. He would never do business with him ever again. And if he called or visited a branch, we would be the ones calling the police. Do you want to know what the total interest charges were that started all this? $30. His term deposit had $20,000 in it. He costed himself $2,000 in early exit fees because he thought he could bully his way out of $30 in interest. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed that video. And if you did, maybe consider subscribing, or maybe even give it a like and a share. Anyways, I gotta head on out of here. Got a brand new area to move into, and I can't wait to show it to you guys. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.